What would it feel like if you could actually win the girl of your dreams every single blooming day? Well, in 2004, we got to experience that with Adam Sandler as he reteamed with Drew Barrymore years after The Wedding Singer. Prepare yourselves. Here's a review of 50 First Dates. Big Days, Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a review of the 2004 rom-com 50 First Dates, released by Columbia, directed by Peter Siegel, starring Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, along with Rob Schneider, Sean Astin, Lusia Strus, Blake Clark, and Dan Aykroyd. The film follows the story of Henry Roth, a womanizing marine veterinarian who falls for an art teacher named Lucy Whitmore. When he discovers she has amnesia and forgets him when she falls asleep, he resolves to win her over again each new day. The film was released on February 13th, 2004. So henceforth, I'm reviewing this on its 22nd anniversary. Although I didn't count this as an anniversary review, though, but still, I appreciate this for what it was. Anyway, the film itself became a success despite it got mixed reviews. This was the second collab between Sandler and Barrymore, just 7 years after, not seven, that's not, let me restart that. 6 years after The Wedding Singer. And then a decade later in Blended, which I'll talk about that another time. And this film was also dedicated in memory of M's dad, Stanley Sandler, who died in September of the previous year in 2003 from lung cancer at the age of 68. Now, let's get into our story. Dr. Henry Roth, a marine veterinarian at Sea Life Park, Hawaii on Oahu, only dates tourists to avoid any serious commitments. His closest friends are Ula, a marijuana smoking islander, Alexa, his androgynous assistant, Willie, his pet African penguin, and Jocko, a walrus that lives at the park. One day, Henry's boat breaks down, and while waiting for the Coast Guard at the Hukalau Cafe, he encounters art teacher Lucy Whitmore constructing architectural art with her waffles. Assuming she is a local, which prevents him from introducing himself, he unsuccessfully attempts to return to his womanizing routine. The next day, he returns to the cafe and re encounters Lucy. They instantly connect over breakfast, and Lucy offers to meet him again for breakfast the next morning. The next day, Lucy shows no recollection of ever meeting him. The restaurant owner, Sue, explains to Henry that the year before, Lucy and her father, Marlin, traveled to the North Shore to pick a pineapple for his birthday. While they were returning, a cow wandered through a broken fence and onto the road, and the ensuing car crash resulted in Lucy being diagnosed with Goldfield syndrome, a official form of anterograde amnesia, whereby she remembers everything up until the night before the crash. Although Lucy's short term memory functions normally during the day, that day's experiences are lost when she sleeps, and she wakes up every morning thinking that it is Sunday, October the 13th. To spare her from the trauma of her condition, Marlon and Doug, Lucy's steroid addicted brother, reenact Marlon's birthday daily. Despite Sue's warning, Henry attempts to get Lucy to have breakfast with him several times, but when he unintentionally offends her one day, he follows her home to apologize. There he meets Marlon and Doug, who instruct him to not speak to Lucy at breakfast. Heeding Marlon's specific orders to avoid the cafe, Henry arranges various daily schemes to meet Lucy on the road, most of the time managing to successfully impress her over multiple first dates and chance encounters. Later, Marla and Doug permit Henry to continue encountering her when they discover Lucy regularly singing the Beach Boys' Wouldn't It Be Nice in her painting studio just on the days Henry managed to meet her. This actually was the first major change in our routine since the crash. One day at breakfast, Lucy notices a police officer writing a ticket because of her expired license plates. With the ruse exposed, she is distressed to learn that her friends and family have maintained the charade for so long. However, while analyzing her reaction, Henry surmises that her strongest reactions are to feeling betrayed by her loved ones, rather than the actual memory loss. He devises a new strategy to let her know the truth by creating a video with her friends to calmly explain the situation, and rather than continuing her pre crash routine, they plant the video in her room with a note to play it upon awakening. The strategy succeeds, allowing Lucy to emotionally process her situation and simultaneously be updated on current events, including her relationship with Henry. The couple's relationship blossoms via this method, with Lucy enjoying every first kiss. And they continue to refine the process while enduring some new humorous setbacks. When Lucy eventually discovers that Henry has abandoned 10 years of planning for his research study of walruses in Bristol Bay to help her manage her condition, she decides that they need to end their romantic relationship and breaks up with him. He reluctantly helps her destroy her journal entries about their time together, effectively erasing it from her memory. Now for the ending, you know the procedure. You got 5 seconds to stop this video at once. Go to the description box below, fast forward to the time below. As I count down now, if you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Weeks later, as Henry prepares to leave for his research study, Marla informs him that Lucy is teaching an art class at a brain injury institute. As a parting gift, he gives Henry a Beach Boys CD. And as Henry pilots the boat and cries while listening to the CD, he suddenly realizes that since Lucy only sang Wouldn't It Be Nice on days when they met, Marlon's gift may be his way of hinting that Lucy had new learned memory retention. Henry hurries to Lucy's class, but despite not remembering him, she happily reveals that she dreams of him nightly and shows him dozens of portraits that she has painted of him, and they reconcile. Sometime later, she awakens and plays the tape marked Good Morning, Lucy, which now ends with her and Henry's wedding. Henry tells her on the tape that she is on his boat and to put on a coat because it's cold outside. She is amazed to view glaciers through the porthole and goes up on deck where she sees her father fishing. Once again, meets Henry and joyfully embraces their young daughter Nicole. End of story. So, what did I think of 51st States? Well, I've got to say, I absolutely think this movie's pretty funny in my view. It's fun. It's another pretty good Adam Sandler flick. Now, this film was directed by Peter Siegel. This was Sandler's second film with him after doing Anger Management a year prior. And then the following year, they reteamed for the remake of The Longest Yard. But anyway, I have to admit that this film is absolutely incredible. Now there actually is they're planning to do a remake in Thai. Yep, there's going to be a Thai version of this to be scheduled for release later in the year in Thailand. Incredible, huh? Yeah. The reviews were mostly mixed, with saying at 45% on Rotten Tomatoes, where they say gross out humor overwhelms the easy chemistry between Sandler and Barrymore, who brings some energy and yucks to this tale of a girl with short term memory loss and a guy who tries to get her to love him. Well, Metacritic has a score 48, and audiences surveyed by CinemaScore gave it an A minus. Now, some critics enjoyed the film, who have enjoyed this film, like A.O. Scott for the New York Times, praised the uplifting story while lamenting that the seemingly excessive and incongruous humor. amount of crude humor and drug references. Roger Ebert gave it 3 out of 4 stars, stating the movie is sort of an experiment for Sandler. He reveals the warm side of his personality and leaves behind the hostility, anger, and gross out humor. The movie doesn't have the complexity and depth of Groundhog Day, but as entertainment, it's ingratiating and lovable. Rex Reed was scathing in his review for the New York Observer, calling the film stupid, coarse, and abysmally unfunny, while sing, I'm just reading the wrong. Sorry, while singling out offensive humor about brain damage. Still, nevertheless, Sandler and Barrymore won the award for Best On-Screen Team at the MTV Movie Awards. Well, since they had starred in The Wedding Singer, the two are said to regard the film as one of their favorite collaborations as professional soulmates. The film did well, going on to make $198 million worldwide on its $75 million budget. Eventually, this was really something, what have you. They're all now. Last year there was it was announced that a stage musical adaptation based on the film will premiere at the Other Palace in London in of last year. I'd say that probably haven't. I bet it turned out pretty good. But anyway, I think this film's pretty fun, Wivey. I hadn't seen this in some time, but I have now, and I think it's really a great film. And sorry, everyone. Sorry, but I'm observing my tube just in case something was going on. Sorry. But anyway, I think it's really something, and it's awesome. Anyway, the soundtrack was released, yeah, which had cover versions of songs that were originally recorded in the 80s and 90s, and included mostly reggae style covers. And it was a moderate commercial hit, reaching number 30 on the Billboard 200. Anyway, despite being prominently featured in the film, neither the Beach Boys' Wouldn't It Be Nice nor Israel Kamakawiwole's, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that correctly, medley of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, What a Wonderful World was included. The soundtrack was produced by Nick Hexum, who is the frontman of the rock band 311, who actually provided a cover of The Cure's hit Love Song. Plus, include various covers of songs, including Drive by the Cars, done by Ziggy Marley, Wayne Wonder doing a cover of the Thompson Twins' Hold Me Now, and UB40's cover of The Police's Every Breath You Take. Incredible, huh? And Jason Mraz doing a cover of Modern English's I Melt With You. So anyway, yeah, and Adam Sandler contributes his own song to this called Forgetful Lucy. Incredible, huh? Yeah. So the soundtrack, you got to admit, is really good. For the cast, we have Adam Sandler as Henry Robb. Great performance he gave. Drew Barrymore as Lucy. Great. Rob Schneider as Ula. Yeah, this guy's really crazy, but he's pretty funny though. Sean Astin played Doug. He's pretty good. Blake Clark as Marlon. He's good. This Lusia Strus as Alexa. Kind of a strange character, but little I don't know. Dan Aykroyd played Dr. Joseph Keats, who was actually pretty good. Amy Hill played Sue. Pamakai Brown as Nick, Sue's husband and the chef at the cafe. We had Alan Covert in this, and Maya Rudolph, Kevin James. Yep. So you got to admit the cast is pretty good. But with everything said, 51st Dates is a pretty good rom com. If you liked Sandler and Barrymore in The Wedding Singer, you'll definitely love them in this film. I think its story's pretty good. Its humor might be a little over the top in some spots, but still it's pretty fun in my view. And it has great performances from its main leads. And a great soundtrack and score, which was composed by Teddy Castellucci. So with everything said, would I recommend 51st Dates? I'd say sure, go ahead, give it a shot. You might enjoy it. But what did you think of 51st Dates? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you my Saturday morning TV vlog of I Am the Greatest, The Adventures of Muhammad Ali. Looking forward to doing that. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these two films that Sandler would do with director Peter Siegel. In the upper left-hand corner, check out my review of Anger Management from 2003. The upper right-hand corner is my review of the remake of The Longest Yard from 2005. Or if you'd like another film that Peter Siegel did, but with another actor in that, namely Eddie Murphy, check out my review of Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps from 2000 in the bottom left-hand corner. In the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.